Beautiful people. Hello. Let's do episode 5, guys. Azishe.
Disclaimer. This review or discussion is based on opinion and information that is already known to the public. The information may be alleged, but the commentary and opinions are very much true.
Anyway, episode 5. Mfundisi is going home now. He wants to introduce the ladies to his family. Obviously, it has to start there, how they're going to relate and all of those things. And yeah, the pastor just goes to the family first to let the family know. I didn't even know that he didn't let the family know that he was pursuing something like this, and he had to start there to actually let the family know that, you know what, I've decided to take a route different from what is usual and different from what is normal. I'm looking for a wife and I'm looking for this person on TV and blah de blah de blah. The whole family, like it was sisters and a brother. They were just like, why? Pero why? Why would you do that? Like, don't you trust in your abilities to make, to share? Are you not, don't you have this thing to do this to women? And they were just like, no, we don't understand his method of doing things. But okay, like, whatever my brother is embarking on, it's okay, we'll be supportive, but like, we really don't get this whole situation. And anyway, it was just that, they were just complaining with why this route, why this, and after that, it was just done, and they were like, okay, cool, bring them, so that we can know them, yeah. After the go-ahead, Vele, the ladies, the pastor said, okay, fine, you know what, ladies, let's get into the car, and we are just going to the church, so that you can meet my family and all the jazz, So anyway, the pastor Vele hopped into the car. On the confess, he was saying that, you know what, the condition of the church that I lead is not on par, and I just want to see who's going to be judgmental, who's going to have that, nah, and he just wants to see if they'll gel with the family and also just the environment and the atmosphere. And fine, they get their Velem. The church is like, Velem Kuku vibes, and you can see in Joguti he's starting out. But the thing is, I wonder, because remember, it's the dad that passed the church forward to him. So I just wonder if, was it always like this, or he changed locations, or where are the people that were around during the dad's time of pastoring? There's just a lot. When I saw it, I was like, because it looked like someone who's a first generation pastor who's starting out, and he's just doing everything on his own. It's not like, it doesn't look like it's a pattern, that is just okay, go run with it, So I think I understood when Ubabalo, because Babalo was, when they got there, Babalo was like, yo, fine, I had ideas in my head, but I didn't really think, I did not have these expectations of how, and the number of people, number one, and how the church looks. And I don't know, I just had a different idea in my head of where we are going to, because Vele, the church, Vele had a small quantity of people, and Eunice also said the same thing, that, the age group, but Babala was just being shady. She was just like, there are literally like two families here in this place that we call a church. And for me, I was like, girl, no, like, no, Eunice also said, Uguti, you know what, when I got there, my expectations in J, like it, because of even the age group of the people that are there, it looks like it's just children and just like elderly people. There's no like that young people vibe, and yeah, they were just there. Obviously, they were like, okay, since we're here at Season2, are we just going to praise, worship, and leave our expectations and all these things that we had in our head, and we're just gonna have a great time in the place of the Lord. Anyway, church was on. The ladies just had a great time, and pastor was just there playing keys and singing. Bona, Elena was on cloud 9. She was just there like, look at my meals, And I mean, even Carol clocked her. She was like, hey, this girl is on cloud nine, just watching the pastor and just smitten there. Like, pastor was just out there being a pastor, playing keys, singing. And then I think it was before or after the preaching, he introduced the ladies. It was just like, I'd like for you guys to meet these wonderful ladies. And they, Basuguma Vele Ututu was like, yes, if only this moment was just that moment where I'm alone with the pastor and they're just like, Suguma Mgamba Bon, huh? Suguma Tutuzile. But she stood up, Vele, did her thing when she introduced herself. And I mean, come on. What is Dudu without the singing? Huh? What is Dudu without the mesmerizing? Huh? Then she just did her thing, sang. The praise and worship team joined her and they sang and she just introduced herself. Then it was Babala. Babala was there like Sanbanan Bazelwang type of vibe, I didn't expect it to be like shy, but she was shy. She did say she was nervous and stuff like that because she couldn't even articulate herself properly. When you sometimes like, this is the day that the Lord has made. It's a bright and sunny day. Praise God, So, but at church, church is like, I think church is like one of those rehearsal places. Whenever you want to do something, that's why I encourage people to, you know what? If you want to learn 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just go to church. Because people are just like, take your time. Even if you could just go on a wrong note. Listen, at church, there will be that, take it higher. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Even when you do your speeches, and you're just there nervous, they're like, no, take your time. Hallelujah. So that is just good. Again, a foundation, So, but yeah, no, church folks will do that to you and you will grow and you feel better about yourself. So I think Babala reminded me of that part about church where it's just like, yeah, it's good that you did this in church, because hey, in other places, people are not so nicer to you in that aspect. I'm not talking about how perfect church is, blah, 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 blah. But I'm just saying in that aspect, they just encourage you. Bona, you'd be doing the crappiest of notes and singing. Your keyboard will just be out there and off key, but it's like, okay, let's carry on, So yeah, she just reminded me of that part of everything. But anyway, then the pastor started preaching. He was preaching about not settling for less. And Elena was like, yeah, one of this preaching, if pastor does not receive for himself first, imuvuselele kuqala before it actually does something to the hearts of others. It felt like he was just speaking to himself at one point, So the preaching, the ladies enjoyed themselves, danced, bona in the circle. You know how we do, musabazalwane, going into circles and dancing and just doing our thing. Come on, But anyway, that was the part about the church. And then afterwards, they were just like, okay, ladies, go inside. Let us go to see my family and where I come from, where I reside, etc., etc. They get them huge yard, like a huge farm plot yard. They get them. Vele, he was just taking the ladies around. And Eunice was observing Vele. This is a big yard. And you can tell that the house, that was Eunice saying that, you can tell the house was built like a while ago, and it has not been done like it's used up or anything like that. And I mean, it's either a combination of old money and actually the way it is situated, because it's like in the, emakaya, but not like kaya, because there is also a pool area and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyway, Ututu and she was just dreaming. She was like, yo, Mina, I just see a villa. I see us building and having this wonderful, a visionary man, a girl that looks at something and she sees, hey, bona, a multiplication of something alive, So I liked that about her. When she saw the situation, she wasn't just like, but she was in a space where she was like, I can see something coming alive. And I mean, it's just a mindset thing, I Eunice Yana, she was just like, yo, I. And oh, Eunice, but I'll keep my comment. And yeah, so anyway, they walked around Vale and they went to the pool area. When they got to the pool area, Eunice again was just like, yo, the swimming pool is dirty, child. Like, it doesn't even look like people swim in here. Like, this is not up to par. So unfortunately, they didn't really show the water. They just showed the area, the pool area, but not inside and all of the things that we can judge as well and look at. So she was there and she was just like, yo, I'm mm, mm, you know then he showed them also the area where he keeps his chicken. And Eunice once again was like, this guy told me he's got 50 plus chicken. I don't see 50 chicken here. They look like 15 or something. And he was like, and I think maybe it's because maybe somewhere somehow when they were having their one-on-ones or getting to know each other, he told her that SS Begala stalker cockles. What is chicken in Afrikaans? Cockles. Stalker chickenas. And Eunice was like, this is not 50, no max 1, and she was like, you know what, but maybe, they ate the chickens and they cooked and they ate the chickens. Come on, and she was just being modest about her observation and what she saw. Then, yeah, man, after that, they went to the other side here to just wait for the family. Actually, it was actually even good that they went there because it gave the ladies a visual of what could potentially happen. Because I heard even Ubaba was like, yo, this place for me to go from where I am and move to this place is going to be very inconvenient for me. Not just for me, but when I look around, there are no schools around and all of that. And they asked the pastor, because obviously they traveled the distance from the church to the house. It was like an hour and a half distance, like from the church to the house. And that's like some dedication of some sort. But yeah, you'd be surprised how many people even travel for work every day, like for those amount of hours. So I guess it's just one of those things. But it was really good to go there because, you know what? Let me be honest. Let me also be honest. When the pastor was speaking about certain things, obviously in the introduction and throughout the episodes, in my head, I did not picture what I saw, right? Picture what I witnessed. For some reason, when he was talking, yes, he was talking that he lives in plots and land and whatever, meaning there was no expectation of me to see him in a complex or whatever setting, But at the same time, I don't know, I had this thing where I'm like, he's young, probably his home is a certain way, and even if it's an environment where it is like farm vibe, but you know how it is, when you're young. And when I got there, I was like, ish, it looks like he hadn't, or the family didn't do anything after the parents maybe passed on and stuff like that. So like it's a little broken down yana, torn down yana type of situation. I didn't even see a gate and stuff like that. So it's one of those things, but you don't know the politics behind everything. Yes, sometimes you might have a vision of wanting to do something, only to find out that there are so many factors that are standing in the way of you wanting to do it. Families fight over, you would want to put a gate and there's going to be that family member that wants to stand in the way of you doing that, or you want to renovate or whatever, so but what I had witnessed is not what I had pictured. And I think that is the tone of the ladies when they saw everything, they saw the church, the everything. But yeah, I think it also matters, even if you see something like that you are not just like, like you can do that with your friends, or but just give that, I don't know, like have that thing where you're like, okay, fine, I'm here now, I'm just gonna see this day through or this afternoon through, and I'm just gonna go home and I'll make sure that I do something crappy, that the pastor doesn't choose me or something, I don't know, or maybe I leave the show because this is not for me or whatever. So, but yeah, I think that was the general feel around how the ladies saw the things. But actually, that's what I'm saying, it was good that they went there, so that they don't have these visions in their, like they have these pictures in their head, and then only to find out that, yo, really? And I thought I was going to lead a congregation of 100 plus or 200, and only to find out that how, but you know. So yeah, it was good. Then while they were waiting there, the pastor was nervous, shame, and he was just like, yo, man, I'm nervous for my brother because he has no filter. And child, he was not wrong in any sense. But anyway, yeah, they were just talking about obviously the day, how was it while they were waiting, and how nervous they are, and what questions they're gonna ask them, and the whole meet the family type of thing. Anyway, the family comes through, bona drama. I mean, they come through all shaded up at night, looking all Steve Kekana-ish. And I'm just like, yo, you can tell, Nje Uguti, there's gonna be drama. You can tell, Nje Uguti, there's just gonna be like, notice us, see us, you are here because of us, type of thing. Anyway, they walk in, Vele. Zazi say, sit down, and they do the whole introduction. They introduce themselves. As I said previously, it was the sisters and the brother, and no Gogo this time around. The grandmother was there. And then they introduced themselves and asked the ladies to introduce themselves as well, their nationality and everything. I mean, you could tell the brother, guys, like, when the pastor was like, yo, my brother, please, I'm nervous for my brother, because of my brother and all of those things, he's kind of rude and whatever. Like, when let me just put it simple, you can't choose family. You understand? That's how I'm just gonna put it. Like, he was just like there, and there was a comment where he said on the confession, he was like, yeah, sis, I expected like hotties, he's like, Nanik expected them up, yeah. And I'm just like, bro, like, is this something you could say? Like, honestly, when you meet these ladies, yes, he was honest, but like, was it necessary? It's not about you. These women are not there for you, So anyway, and he was just talking about accents and language barriers and how we're going to communicate with them, because they are Tswana and there are other Xhosa women there, and Zulu and all these other languages, and it was just So, but yeah, that shade, when the brother, you know what, let's call him Shadrach. He's shady, guys. He is super shady. Shadrach Uti. He points at one of the ladies. I didn't see who he pointed at, né? And he was like, you know what, my brother, don't even go to this one. This one looks like she's highly educated. She's going to be a problem. You must stick to your level. First of all, what are you saying, number one, about your brother? You understand? When someone says, don't choose this person because they're highly educated, stick to your level, what does that mean? What is my level? Secondly, what are you saying about the other ladies? When you say someone is highly educated or whatever, then what are you saying about the other ones? Which oh no, you know what, these ones are your types. Like, these ones, yeah, these ones you can play. These ones are on your level of education, or I don't know. Like, I was just like not feeling the brother at all. But anyway, Baba Lage asked Ugogo, okay, tell us, Gogo, how was the pastor growing up? Gogo's like, oh, he was such a quiet child, and he just did his own thing. He likes to play the organ, the keyboard, whatever you call it, and he's just playing keys. And yeah, he just grew up like that. And the sisters actually also said, which he's someone that likes a commitment and consistency. That is, he likes these things. Like, they were pointing about, I think they were referencing to commitment and marriage and stuff like that, because they were like, oh, he even got married young, and for us, we felt like he was very young to get married, but because he likes these things of commitment, consistency and stuff like that. Then they asked the brother, don't you share the same sentiments that we had, like, in terms of him getting married at a very young age? The brother was just like, Shadrach was just like, You asking me? Okay. Let me tell you something. Did the conversation not go all the way left? Shadrach was like, good shot. Ubuzeban, who did you ask? I will make sure that these few minutes of fame, I will make sure that you guys know me. Shadrach went on, asked the brother. He was like, did you choose pastoring, or you were forced into pastoring? Or did you want to be a pastor growing up? And the Potseho was like, yeah. And he was like, no. And he asked the ladies, hey Nina, would you date a broke guy? Oh, the ladies were like, yeah. Guys, it went awkward. Like, even Dudu was like, yeah, when a manch, T for tense manch, H for hectic. Because now the brother was just asking all these weird questions, and Dudu was like, yo, kuvele kwaba awkward, kuvele kwaba weird right now. Like, he really took it to another, he shifted it to another vibe, and asked the ladies, would you date a broke guy? The ladies were like, how? And then manje iphuma phela was like, yeah, I'm letting you know, because um there's no money in the church, and if you guys are here to want to be taken care of, forget, this one is broke. He a broke boy. Like, a whole brother saying that, guys, like, come on. And I mean, there's a thin line. I think there's a thin line between being real, and just straight up disrespectful, and I think he has that, the latter, which is disrespectful with the dash of jealousy. Because I mean, where and why, how, like, was that question, like, were those questions necessary? Or maybe the way he put them, and the way he was just like, good shot, platform received, I'm going to get it in, and I'm going to make sure, it was just awkward, for the ladies. And Elina Mandla was just like, now my God will provide. I don't know how, but now I've never found myself starving. I've never found myself without, And the brother's like, oh, Elina, oh, bless your heart, baby. Bless your pure heart. And he just straight up told Elina, you are naive, Miguel. If you are telling me that God will provide, when are you just gonna pray at an empty grocery, empty pantry, for example, and you're just gonna pray for provision and your grocery will be stocked up? Girl, you playing. And I mean, we all know what Elina Mandla meant, But yeah, I think the brother had his own agenda, and he just wanted to make sure, Njeguti, I will make sure that I will embarrass my brother. And Shem Usaho was just sitting there, so quiet, and I think he's gonna need someone that is a partner that is gonna be a little feisty, if you know what I mean. Elina Mantha was just like, that part, I didn't even know that Elina Mantha had that in her. But I liked how he actually was like pushing the brother. When the brother was like, what angzong? Can you please unpack, elaborate, what are you talking about? And now we'll never starve and blah 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 blah. Who confessed, she was like, yes, Shadrach is disrespectful, and I'm not afraid to let him know that he is straight up disrespectful. That was disrespectful, man. I was just like, yeah. And that's why I'm saying, Mutina, I think he needs someone that is just going to be feisty, a little feisty, that is just going to stand up for him, because he seems like a very gentle soul, and he's been, I think the brother has always did this whole thing of just walking over him or something, and because he's just nervous, and he knows that his brother is like that, and I think he's accepted that he's not going to change. I mean, we can't choose family, as I said previously, that people will do what they want to do. The only thing that you can preserve is your peace, and he's done that. It seems like he's done that, or he has this self-control, about him. So he needs someone that's going to be like, no, this nonsense ends here, like now. Not someone that is always there, like ready, but someone just once, who's going to be like, Utini, come here, what are you saying? Just once in a while. So yeah, that was that, and I was just like, yo, that is so awkward. Carol qualified Naya. She was like, yo, Mina, I've just been doing things on my own, and I understand where you're coming from, but that is not one of the things that would just be like a deal breaker for me. In a way, she was mentioning that, you know what, I'm not solely dependent on the pastor's income, because I've had my own income and I've been doing things on my own, you know. And the brother was like, hi, Wena, be realistic when a girlfriend, you know. One of the sisters were like, these ones, they probably just want to get married and come stay here and settle. Because I mean, honestly, what are these people saying, you know? So anyway, the brother was like, nah, let us bring it back. Come, let us be honest. And I mean, in that area, I was like, okay, I hear him, he makes sense, you know, because he was saying that, you know, at some point, yes, you got your own, you were doing your own thing, and at some point, you're gonna want your man to do something. There's no way that you are just gonna be there sitting providing. When you are providing 3 years plus, the next thing you are going out there, you're cheating. Who's going to be called? Who's going to be summoned? We are out there living our best lives, and then we get summoned. Now we get into family meetings because you did something where now that you agreed to, when you are fine with providing for your man. When I'm independent, you are fine with providing for your man. Then next thing you are cheating because this man is not satisfying certain things, because we know that men are providers, you know. It is number one biblical, number two a design that they have, because it even chows down on their ego when they are unable to do that, you know. Then it means it's something that is embedded for them to do, and it actually not just for us but for their egos. I mean, it is what it is, you know. So the pastor was like, yo, okay, let's be realistic. And he will confess, she was just like, please tell me, please let me know. I'm asking, is there a pastor, South African pastor, that has not been to Nigeria, that is here and just doing his his work in jail, you know, that is wealthy? There is no such. So please, just know that you gonna go broke. Just know. I think he was just letting them know that this is what we are dealing with. Don't fall in love with potential, you know. And that is what we women like to do, and myself included, because even to when she looked at that place, you know, she saw a villa, she saw this, she saw that, outside of what the realities of it are, you know. You don't know we didn't see the surrounding, whether is the neighbor someone in them cook or whatever, because it will not have much value if you are the only one that is just out there having this beautiful resort, for example, and your neighbors out there, there is no entrance, there's no proper exit, you know, type of thing. So there are other things we like to do as women, and we just look at potential and all of those things, and we end up putting ourselves in traps that we knew very well that we are walking into. So he was just letting them know, with I get you guys see what is happening right now. You see what is for what it is, you know, because you don't know, like, things could go really, really well, or things could stay like this for like the next 5 years. So be okay with, and be sure that what you are deciding on is what you are deciding on. So yeah, and it ended there, and I guess it's going to continue, because it looks like the next episode is just going to be as spicy. I mean, Shadrach, I like him, don't like him. I have a like-hate relationship, love-hate relationship with him, because he's honest, but the way he just speaks and the way he addresses his brother, like there's something there that's just like, Okari, either he was like a little bullying-yana, or there's some sense of jealousy, maybe because he's the elder brother and the church was left to the younger brother. I don't know, but there's something there, you know. But it's just my observation. Obviously, it's not what it is. It's not the gospel truth, you know. So yeah, that was it with this episode. So we'll see next week, Uguti, how it goes and who gets eliminated. So thank you guys. This one was a short one, and we shall continue with episode 6. Bye bye.